Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the story time. I was meant to film a couple of weeks ago, but I really didn't want to. I was like, okay, people want to know what happened, so I'm going to tell them what happened. In this video I'm not going to mention names, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about things, because it's not your business in the end of the day. You want to know what happened, that's fine, but you can't, I don't want to know, tell you the detail, because it was my relationship and his relationship and it just didn't work. So it started off last year. God, I was a fool. So I had been at my mate's house the day before. I knew this guy before I'd actually met him. I was speaking to this person, he was friends with this person. I knew him before I ever met him, you know what I mean? So that day before I was at my mate's house, I was a mess. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go stay at my nan's. Who lives in Newport Pagnell. I was like, okay, I'm not going to see anyone in Newport Pagnell that I know. So I'm going to go out in my trackies, no makeup on my hair, slick back. I look like a local crackhead. So me and my nan, trotting down the Newport High Street, and we go into this cake shop, which is next to the salon that he worked at. And when we came out, I looked into the car park and I saw him. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Nan, do you see that guy? It was bloody fit, wasn't he? Like, obviously, you know, I've got the banter with my nan. So I was like to my nan, I was like, Nan, oh my God, he's so fit. And obviously I knew who he was, but so I messaged him and I was like, oh, I think I saw you coming at your work. I went to the co-op. Mate, he was in fucking co-op. I was like, oh my God, I need to get out of the co-op. I was hiding from him in the co-op. I was like, oh my God, I look like a mess. I can't see him in the co-op. I went home and went, oh, really sorry, I didn't make up, blah blah blah. You know what you do, you feel ugly and you apologise for it. Sorry guys, I'm ugly all the time. So then, God, it all started. We were messaging for about 3 weeks. We got into a relationship after 3 weeks of chatting, which was the biggest problem, because obviously we hadn't been talking for so long and we rushed into a relationship. That was where all the problems started. The problems started there, because you can't get into a relationship with someone within 3 weeks of knowing them, okay? And obviously, I was young. It was only a year ago. Me a year ago was completely different to what I am now. So I thought he was the one. I was like, I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life. I'm going to get a relationship with you. So we got into a relationship and it was okay for the first few months. Then shit started to go downhill. My family did not approve him because
he was an A-class dickhead, no.
I could not see it. I thought, no, he's perfect, they will change it, they don't know what they're talking about. I knew that they were right, but at the time, I was like, no, like, they don't know my relationship, they don't know what's gone on, they don't know how he feels about me. I was blinded by love, if you want to say. So when they were like, Violet, he's an absolute dickhead, they were right. I didn't want to admit it, and if you're a girl and you're in the same situation, you knew when your family knows better than you, and you're like, no, you don't know better than me. I know how I feel. I know that my relationship's gonna last. So whenever they were talking, I was like, yeah. So I wasn't listening to what they were saying, and they're basically telling me that I'm just gonna get hurt and I'm gonna get dumped. And and it got to about 4 months, and I was like, no, like, they're wrong, I'm not. So I started arguing with family, as you do. I was falling out with everyone. It was not great. Then, okay, it got to 6 months. Oh, sorry, 5 months. We had been arguing for the last month. We'd been arguing non-stop. We'd be fine, and then
BAM! Argument.
The 5th month of relationship. And silly little Violet thought they'd never break up. Silly little Violet thought they'd get married.
God, I was wrong.
I had woken up and FaceTimed this boy. The boy, obviously my boyfriend, so I woken up and FaceTimed my boyfriend. And it's what we did when I woke up. I was like, oh, morning babe, blah, 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 blah. And he was an absolute arsehole. He was like, for fuck's sake, why are you bringing me? Then hung up on me. I was like, okay, maybe he's just a bit moody. I did not expect to be broken up that day. You know when it's come out of the blue, because before we're fine, we're absolutely fine, all love's up, absolutely fine. And then the day after, I got dumped by a Snapchat fucking text, mate. So I wake up and have this long paragraph, and it's basically like, yeah, you know, I'm too good for you, blah 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 blah, all this shit. Like, apparently I'm a rock falling on him and he needs to get out for a rock falls on him. Like, the fuck. Like, absolute the fuck. At the time, we were arguing, right? But it was nothing that big to break up over. But, anyway, bitch, you're lost. I was in tears. I was in fucking tears. Oh, I literally... Heartbreak is the most painful thing you could ever feel. If you're a girl and you've been dumped or you've broken up with someone, you know that that feeling will never go. That feeling will never ever go, because that feeling was so like intense. It took over my whole body. I literally felt like my world had ended, because this boy was my everything. He was my absolute everything, and to not have him anymore, completely gone out my life, that was horrible. So I was like, babe, like, please, like, I'm really sorry. I blamed it on myself. I was like, it's all me. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll change, blah, 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 blah. Never, ever, ever blame it on yourself. If he don't want to be with you, that's his problem. If you two don't want to go together, that's fine. But never, ever, ever try and blame yourself, because you're not meant to be. I put everything on me. I was like, it's my fault we're breaking up. Like, I was like, I'm not good enough for him. It was fucking horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I never want to go through that again. First thing was, it was out of the blue. Had been so happy to gone to my lowest point. I was still arguing with my family. I was so upset and I was so angry. I was so confused. Like, all these emotions coming in at once. I literally sat in bed and cried all day. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to sit in bed and cry all day. So I got up, I did all my makeup, felt nice. I broke down. You cannot go through a breakup quickly. You have to cry. You have to cry to get over a breakup. And it's when it's your first everything, it's your first love, it's your first everything. You have to get over it. You have to cry. You have to let it out. And the worst thing was, I wasn't meant to have my phone at the time. I'd been, you know, arguing with family and stuff. My phone got taken. I wasn't meant to have my phone. So before I even, if I wasn't secretly going on my phone and reading these messages, then I wouldn't have known. He messaged my mum before he even messaged me. He messaged my poor mother, who was been working a night shift. He messaged my poor mother and was like, I'm breaking up with Violet. She's psycho. I'm too good for her. Blah, blah, blah. I can't do it anymore. Apparently I was emotionally unstable. So, he broke up with me through my mother, thinking I wasn't going to message him back. He was expecting me to open that message 3 days later, or 4 days later, how long it took. He did not expect me to know we were breaking up that day. So I'd go get my phone back and see that I'd lost my boyfriend. I'd lost my absolute everything. And that was the thing that upset me the most. He didn't know that I was going to know that quick. He thought he could just dump me without me knowing and get out. That's what hurt me the most, because he had put all these ideas in my head that we were going to be together forever, like we're going to have children, blah, 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 blah. He was the love of my life at the time. What the fuck was I doing? You know what I mean? So he had blocked me on absolutely everything. Everything. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, everything. My number, he blocked my number. Psycho Violet phoned him up on the landline and was like, babe, I'm so sorry. He was like, I need to go work. I can't do this. You fucking dump me and I go to work. You having a chat? I obviously was very upset. I cried. I got all his shit and got it in my bag. I was sitting there waiting for my aunt to get home. I was like, Michelle, I'm going to his work and I'm giving his fucking shit back and I'm going to humiliate him. And luckily my auntie went, Violet, don't, because you'll regret it. That happened and we weren't talking for a couple of hours. And I went out and I could not get my mind off of him. I was so in love with this boy at the time. I had to message him. I had to try and get him back. But I knew if I had him back, then my life just I wouldn't be able to trust him ever again. I was so hurt. I was being with this boy at nearly 6 months. Like, I was with him for nearly 6 months. And he dumped me a couple of days for 6 months. And that hurt me most as well. Like, when a boy puts ideas in your head that you're going to be together for the rest of your life, and then they just leave, that's what hurts the most. I couldn't give a shit if I got dumped. I couldn't give a shit. It was because I had all these ideas that we were going to have a future. But no, the bastard dumped me. Well, you know what, babe? Look at me now. You fucking missing out on it. So we weren't talking, and it got to New Year's Eve, and I had a little bit to drink. I wasn't pissed, I just had a little bit to drink. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to message him. just message him. Be like, Happy New Year's, I hope, you know, hope you have a good year, like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, before New Year's Eve, it was a staying at my mate's house, and he was drunk. He was putting in a story that he was drunk, and he phoned up my friend Lauren, and was phoning him like, oh, you alright? Never, ever, ever phones up my friend. Phones him like, you alright? And then he knew I was there. He knew, because I launched it on a story. He knew I was there. So I was like, you alright? Like, yeah. Then he goes, oh yeah, I've never loved Violet. I've never had a feeling for her. She's absolutely nothing to me. This was like 2 weeks after we broke up. I was fucking breaking down. I was crying, I was sobbing. He couldn't give two shits. It's, with a guy, it's different. But like, and then New Year's Eve, obviously I messaged him. I was like, Happy New Year's Eve. But I'm a nice person. I don't hold grudges. I was like, Happy New Year's Eve. And literally then like, I realised, obviously I was crying again. I was an emotional wreck. I was like, it'd been like 3 months. It took me like 3 good months to get over this boy. So I messaged him and it was like, he was like, yeah, good. And we were talking, and then we were talking again. And then the next morning, we were still talking. Like, we were talking as friends. And then he just starts being a dick. Like, he's like, yeah, I've never loved you, blah, blah, blah. Like, why would you do that? Like, I'm trying to be a nice person. You got to go ruin it. So I decided, we went through a phase of blocking each other, unblocking each other, blocking each other, unblocking each other. Like, petty shit. But then I just decided, you know what? I'm going to block him. I can't do it anymore. It's not good for myself. And then once I got over him, I unblocked him. Because there's no point. He's moved on. I've moved on. There's no hate there for him anymore. I don't care. Like, he's living his life. I couldn't give two shits what he's doing. Unless, in the least horrible way, I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't care. You know what I mean? Like, he could be like moving halfway across the country and I couldn't care. Because he means nothing to me anymore. So, he's moved on with his life. I've moved on with my life. The one thing you have to remember is never put your blame on yourself. Never ever. But sit there and blame yourself for a breakup. Because a breakup has 2 people in it. And it's 50-50. Yeah, it may not be the easiest, but you still have to get through it. You need 2 people to want to be in a relationship to make it last. He didn't want to be in a relationship. I did. Now I look back and I'm like, okay, what happened happened. It made me into who I am now. I take my family's word. You know, I take it in about boys. I'm like, yeah, okay, if my family don't like you, that's saying something. I can't be with someone my family don't like you. Okay guys, thank you for watching my story time. If you just leave me a like and please subscribe and turn the notification button on to see more videos. If you want to hear another story time, just leave me comments down below what you want to hear about. And I will see you next week for another video. Bye guys.